Welcome back. We're going to check out number 23 now, sequence indexer. This is a really interesting one. So, what our task is we've got a number of files, I guess, and the input is which file we want to retrieve. Okay? So if input is 0, we want that top one. If it's a 5, we want the fifth one down. If we want a 4, we want this one, 900, and so on. And so, it's a bit like a library. You've got your library code, and you've got what people want to borrow. And so you borrow it, you take it out, chuck it out for them, and then you, and that's the puzzle. And so, here's how I did it. First of all, of course, you need to chuck that into your stack. In fact, I'll walk you through what goes on. First thing I do is I make sure this library is loaded up into the stack. And so here it is, it's going through, it all gets chucked in here. Once it's done, once the 0 comes through, then I send a signal in here so that it can start fetching. Alright, now a number comes in. The first number is 0. We want this first number. To get there, since the stack works backwards, you actually need to chuck all these numbers out of here, dig them all out before you can get the one at the bottom. Yeah, so that's why when the number 0 came in, I actually changed it and subtracted it from 10. And so the number which actually goes into my machine is 10, because I want to dig 10 records down to get that number. Here's how it digs. 10 comes in. There it is. And now we move this. We take it out of this bin into this bottom bin. Okay, we don't want that one, so chuck it down. And there's a counter, 9 more, 8 more, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, when it gets to 0, here's 860, that's the one we want to fetch. And so we come over here, we stop the chucking out of stuff, we take that out, we clone it so one goes back into the library, and then we chuck one out. And that's it. And then we do it again. We move this number, number 5, which is the record 978, and we do that again. Now, just before we do that, we've chucked everything out of the bin. We need to put it back in. And so the reset is simply throw these numbers back up until it hits a 0. So once it gets to a 0, we reset everything. We start fetching the number 5 now. Okay, so fifth, we throw 5 items out, we fetch the record, we send it down, and we chuck these back up. Okay, so that's how the machine works. We want to fetch a 0 again, chuck them all out, grab it, chuck them all back in. Alright, so that's the sequence indexer. We actually did really well there. Minimal instructions and a pretty good cycle rate. So there we go.